Okay, I think, oh, there we go. Well, good morning. I'm so excited to get to share with you. As Elaine was just saying before we started the call, there's so much great news coming out of corporate today, so many exciting things that we're going to be talking about. And so on May 11th, we had the May leadership call, and it started with Level Up. And I think probably most of you know that we've been doing the Pajama Regional for years, twice a year in the summer and then also in January. And of course, these 5 women that have been doing it have been done a phenomenal job. But I have kind of transitioned out of that role. And what we have now in place is Level Up. And Level Up will be a 1-day leadership seminar for this summer. It's our Big Rock event. That's what we're talking about today. And it will be on August 12th. It's a 1-day. There is an opportunity for everybody, for all of us to get to either, you can buy it individually or buy it for your group. If Elaine, if you don't mind moving to the next slide, the home host is $75, and then you would be able to show it. They're not going to record it. You will not be able to watch it afterwards. That was one of the questions that came up. So like I said, this is a big rock. This is something that we all put on our schedules for Saturday, August 12th. The speakers, as you saw last year, were unbelievable. They're the best of the best. And actually, I mean, it's in Las Vegas. They don't take a beat. They don't stop for breaks. It's just one incredible training after another. So please put that on your calendars. And as I said before we started recording, I am fired up today. I've got so many exciting things to share with you. And I really think that you're going to be fascinated with a lot of this stuff.
I think too, Brenda, if I can interject, you've bought a ticket for the Indy area. I have a ticket for the Atlanta area. So we'll be both hosting at our houses for that event. If you're not in those 2 areas, then we're going to encourage you to buy a ticket, invite your team wherever you live.
And I know, Elaine, you're probably going to be able to do it at your house because your house is huge and lovely. I'm probably going to rent another place or another room for that day, and we're just going to make it a great time. Okay, so and then we're going to talk about Charlotte. This was the really cool thing. For those of you that weren't able to come to Phoenix, I have to tell you, Phoenix in April is as good as it gets. And it was a phenomenal conference. And I know that Karen and Elaine and Sandy and everyone else that was there feels precious. It was the same way. We just had a ball. And so one of the things that was so cool, they had what they used to call breakouts. Now they're calling learning labs. And they were phenomenal. They were really good. It was just people are excited. They're pumped. I mean, Elaine and I were talking this morning. The COVID coma is over. We are back. We're coming back strong. We're coming back excited. We've got that. When I share with you the new things that we've got going on, just being back together, especially in Phoenix, was just so incredible. And what they talked about was we were like maybe only at 2,500 people that were there. And I remember when we first started in Juice Plus, when I first started, there were 8,000 people at a conference. But the cool thing is during the conference, I know that we all text to everybody probably that we knew that you could buy a reduced ticket for Charlotte. And Charlotte, just on that during our conference, they sold over 3,000 tickets for Charlotte. So we're all going, and it's going. And I've never been to Charlotte for any amount of time, so I'm excited. One of the things they also talked about is I know our group from Indy, we usually fly in, and I think Elaine usually does too, on Wednesday, just to get our packets, get together, get things going. They're encouraging everyone to do that this year, because there's going to be, again, learning labs all day on Thursday, which normally that was just kind of a check-in and a welcome that night. And so it's basically going to be registration, learning labs all day. And then there's going to be another networking party that night. So and that's on, which is lovely. So then you can see on Friday is our regular schedule and Saturday. So put another huge big rock. Here we're talking October 2020, and actually I'm going to say 25th through the 28th. everybody needs to be there. It's going to be a great time. And of course, we'll always do our team stuff too. So excited about that. Okay. Here's some interesting things. Elena and I were just talking. So after Charlotte in the fall, the next big event is going to be here in Indianapolis for the second time. It's going to be our second time here. However, you will see that where it says Indianapolis up here in the red, it doesn't say live event. It says leadership event. And so here's something that's brand new, that this is going to be a leadership training, and it will be by invitation only, because only QSSCs and above will be invited to the Indianapolis event. So of course, I'm expecting everybody on my team to be there. And somebody, and I know Elaine is the same way. I mean, we have an incredible, after after we had the Super Bowl here, Indy right now is still considered the #1 place for events, which is really cool. There's lots of great things. But the cool thing about this, you have to be a QSSC to be invited. And when Elaine and I were talking about that this morning, she was saying, you know, everybody should be a QSSC. So Elaine, you want to talk about that for a second?
I would love to. So a lot of times I think in the past, we've kind of got people to sales coordinator, and that's where a lot of people will camp out for a while. We're here to say, let's everyone go to that next position. If you're sales coordinator, and literally, if you are a Partner Plus, a QSC, what we want is 6 months to sales coordinator. And then once you're at sales coordinator, 6 months to QSSC. So it is doable for everyone on this call to get to QSSC by April of 2024. Let's make that everyone's goal. We want all of us to be invited. I just have a feeling it's going to be something really, really special. And, you know, the fact that they're calling it a leadership event will really tells me we are in for a treat when it comes to really learning and developing ourselves. So I am pumped about this, and I'm literally going to go through everybody on my team and say, who wants to go? Who wants to be at QSC by the time you get there? So my challenge, write QSSC on everything you got, put stickies on your computer. Let's do this. What does it take to be QSSC? You need to be PB qualified, meaning you're doing $1,800 a month, which equates to 24 Trio customers. And then you need to have one person on your team who is PB qualified, meaning 1,800 points a month, 24 customers. So not only do we want to make sure we're going, but we want to challenge and help our team get there as well. So let's really focus now on hitting that goal and taking our entire team, because we've all hit that level.
Won't that be exciting? I mean, talk about the party we're going to have here in Indy. And my sister-in-law also lives here, and she is the party animal. So she'll be able to really come through for us. And then you can see the schedule for the rest of 23 and for 24. You know, we have Level Up in August. We have Charlotte in October. In 24, we have our Level Up again. It will be in January, kicking the new year off. Then the leadership training here in Indy, and then Level Up again in August next time, and then Phoenix again. So I'm thrilled. Like I said, Phoenix it's one of my favorites. So make a plan right now. Okay, yeah. Then with Big Rock events, it says field and partner events keep the momentum and rhythm going to build to Big Rock events. So what events are we doing and we're going to do this summer? And that's, and you know, Elaine and I again we're talking, and I spoke yesterday. Precious had an amazing event at her house yesterday, and I'm going to ask her to share about that in a minute. But you know, the corporate's doing the big rocks. You know, I'm sure you've heard the illustration in a vase. You know, we put the big rocks in first, and then you fill in the rest of it with the smaller rocks. And the smaller rocks are our individual things that we can control, events that we're having. I know that now in Indy, we just are making the announcement that in June, we have a big rock event coming. Dr. Valerie Miles is coming to speak for us, but it's our personal in-home events that fill in everything else, right? And so that's what we should be focusing on is what are your, I think they call them IHL, which is in-home. I'm not, maybe live. I don't know what the L stands for, but that's one of the things that I've been so impressed with Precious on their team. Precious, would you share about your commitment to in-home events for us right now?
Sure. So since the beginning of this year, maybe even in December, I made it a commitment that I wanted to do at least one in-house event and then one online event. I understand that that's where the power is in getting people up close and personal to see what it is that we do. But the shift that I made is that I want to really authentically connect with people, to understand them so that I understand what their need is. And you know how we are taught that, you know, everybody needs the product and everybody needs the business, but I don't want to just like vomit that all over everyone. I want to truly understand. I want to truly understand who they are so that I can help them, you know, kind of build that vision, that goal together. So I had made some plans this month to do an event, which kind of fell through. And I looked at my calendar and I was like, oh my God, like I need to get something on the books before May is out. And so the more conversations that I started to have with friends of mine, I realized that a lot of my female friends have been neglecting themselves personally as it relates to self-care. So then the light bulbs just started going off. Like I need to do something that is all about women and all about investing in ourselves. And so that's what I did. So I created on a Wednesday, I created an event to happen on the following Sunday, which was just a 4-day notice, that I named it Self-Care Sunday. And the plan was for us to make salads, for us to have dinner together, but then take salads home to have lunch for the next day. And then we would do facials. We would do some yoga and some stretching and just some meditation. One of my partners on my team is a fitness instructor as well as a yoga instructor. So she Zoomed in live and led our stretching and meditation. We also did this thing called, well, not really called anything, but it was for eliminating negative self-talk. And so you guys know I'm a marriage counselor too. So this is something that I've even did with my couples, where we write down those negative self-talks that we have with ourselves, whether you're saying it verbally or you're saying it in your head. We wrote those things down and then we took them outside to my fire pit and we brought those thoughts up in our mind, but then we flipped them and turned them into positive thoughts. Then we threw them in a fire pit and I lit them on fire. After that, then we got in the hot tub and we soaked and we, released all the stress that we had that day, and we just kind of hung out. And so in the midst of that, I was working outside and Brenda was working inside. So we was having those authentic conversations with everyone, trying to, understand who they were as individuals and how we can be of assistance. And so I've been so busy this morning with just my practice that I haven't even been able to follow up yet. However, those ladies have already started texting me, asking me additional questions. We even in the end made shakes also to let them try our products. And then I even sent people home with samples. So events are a really, really big deal, especially those that we can have in person, because COVID is not a thing anymore.
Tell how many were there.
Said, 11. I had 11 ladies here.
4 days notice, and she had 11 people there. That was really cool. Thank you so much for sharing, Precious. It was a great event. We really had a good time, and we're going to do another one, a follow-up one on we never got to the facials, everything else, but we're going to do that, I think, maybe next month, right?
Yes. Yes.
So that's what we want you to be thinking about right now is what kind of events do you want to have in your home or, with your partner, wherever you are. That's going to be because that really is the way we build our business. That's the connections that we make, like Precious was saying. So that's what we're talking about. Okay, so I think we went the wrong way. There we go. Okay, so these events, one of the premises from the whole call the other day is events change lives. That's how we do our business. And so here is the schedule that they had, a week ago, because right now our event here in Indy isn't on there. But you can just see, I mean, they're all those IHLs are in home lives all across, and we're welcome to. There's an event Facebook page that is where we're going to send in all the flyers. They've even talking about, I'm a market host here for Indianapolis, that when Dr. Miles is coming here, they're going to have each one of the speakers do about a 1 to 2 minute video that we can have and send out to people as we're inviting for it. Their company is really, really seriously trying to, they're open to our suggestions and they're willing to do whatever we need done. So I'm excited about that. Okay, just in terms of our our new incentives, things that we're doing, here's our soy-free shake, which I think several of it was interesting because I think this shake is what kind of initiated a lot of conversations yesterday at Precious's house, because they were talking about the soy issue, but also us being able to share, it's not just soy, it's processed soy is the issue, or whitewash soy in our complete is, if we have all 9 essential amino acids. I mean, it is so powerful. And so it was basically just, and then making the shakes, we made a chocolate and peanut butter shake, and everyone was asking for seconds and sometimes thirds. We kind of depleted all of a lot of the stock in there with that. But these new soy shakes, people are really enjoying them. And another thing that it really encouraging you to attend events in your area, because what we were told on the market call is that for our event in June, they're going to be sending us in Indianapolis 100 free samples of shakes, 50 of chocolate and 50 of the vanilla, for us to do maybe at to use in some way at the event, even for team members to share or as prizes or whatever. So really excited about it. How many of you guys, you put your hand up if you've tried the soy-free shake?
One thing, if I can interject, Brenda, what I plan to do this week, I bought a box of the vanilla and box of the complete of the soy-free. And down through the years, and my guess is you guys have experienced the same. I have a lot of customers who, for whatever reason, don't want to consume soy. And so I'm going to start this week mailing those to those people who maybe had a soy issue, and just say, hey, here you go. And I think that's a great way to really bring an influx of new customers, or influx of complete customers in your business.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think that's a great idea, because it was amazing to me, out of the 11 people there, how many of them said they've always been scared of soy, and we had, it was a lot of great conversations around it while I was making the shakes. So I think that's a huge market that like Elaine said, that we need to follow up with, because we got great news again. And here's more information. It's on the hub. It's also on boards, where when you're sending, if you're sending it in the mail, you can, run one of those off, or send them an email and saying, you've got a present coming, that kind of thing. So a lot of great information there. Okay. One of the most exciting parts of our whole business, of course, for me always has been the Healthy Starts, which it's not Healthy Starts for families anymore. Yay. It's, of course, I still consider it the Children's Health Study, but now it's Healthy Starts, and it's been updated. So we have a new name. We have a refreshed look. It's really, they're really gone the second mile. If you were on the call that we had the other, our team call about with the health-minded moms, we were able to show several of the slides from the Healthy Starts. And the most exciting thing to me is the expanded age range. Instead of 4 through college, if you have an active college email, or 4 through 18, but now it's from 4 to 26 or through all of 25. So if someone started at 4 years old, they can be on it all of that time. And if they're already in the program, you don't have to do anything. I do have several customers who had gone through their 4 years, which is it comes considered 12 shipments. And I'm going to be able to go back and say, we can put your kids right back on, and they can be on for until they, until they're 26. And so I think this is, again, this is probably my favorite part. I love our Jay Martin's thing that the reason he started the Healthy Starts program is he never wanted any of our products to cost more than an average cup of coffee at Starbucks. And it is one of the most incredible gifts we can give them. So I'm thrilled about that. Keeps wanting to go back there, doesn't it? Okay, here we go. So now we do have a lot of wonderful educational things on the hub about Healthy Starts. There's a Healthy Starts form that you can send a fact sheet. There's actually, you can send them out again. This is what we talked about on the Health Minded Moms event that we had the other night. And Elaine was able yesterday to put it on YouTube, so it's accessible for everybody. And I just can't say enough about we had our amazing moderator, Karen, and then our three moms, Jacqueline and Erin Vogelson and Allison, just were phenomenal. I mean, there was incredible stories. That's going to be such an incredible gift for us to give people with children. And here's all the things on the hub and on boards that you can send out about it. Okay, another big push in this call was our new income opportunity resources. And what they talked about is we want to grow our paycheck, and that's by connecting with people, of course. So you grow your paycheck by growing your team. And as you're growing your team, you're going to get PB qualified and help them be PB qualified at the 1,800 points in the process, because qualifiers are what signals to corporate that you're serious about your business. And it's such an important step. And so we're going to help our team grow their own team. And there's lots of ways on Instagram and on Facebook to be talking about our income opportunities and the resources that we have. And that's what this is talking about. There's lots of great new, there's the Income Opportunity Partner FAQs, reasons to join us as they compare it with other businesses. There's, basically how to talk to people about joining our team and in terms of our income opportunities. So again, they're on the hub and they're also on boards, the Team Extreme boards. And so, okay, so now what we're talking about is how the last couple months, I think since January, they've been doing, giveaways. And they've been sending emails to our canceled customers with several bonuses that we've had, where you could get the chewables for free, or you could get the vineyard for free, or the omegas and that kind of thing. So what we've learned from this is that when customers get an email from our corporate offices, it results in new orders and increased sales. However, when they get an email and a contact from us, not only is it new orders and new sales, but it's new customers. We're talking to new people and they're recommending other people. And that we have lots of the great social shareables that are effective to connect with people, like the two that are here. Get a box of Complete. That was an incredible thing. I was able to share that with several people. But that after we do make those contacts, we have follow-up emails that are coming from the company, but it's when we follow up, like we've said a million times, the fortune's in the follow-up. When we reach out to them and we talk about, what did you get? How did your order come? How are you using it? How are you enjoying it? That together, we're making it with corporate, we're making a difference. And each one of us is a special ingredient in building that success. Thank you. And since last month's call, in March, the customer win back is what they're talking about. These are customers that haven't ordered for quite a while. And so those are the people that they're targeting, which is lovely. And so former capsule customers without an active order between the last 8 months to 3 years, the result is of those people, 200 customers placed a new order and reconnected with their partner. That's incredible. And in April, with the purchase of a berry blend, if you bought the berry blend, just the bottle of them, and you got the free chewables, that it generated new orders from existing customers. But what was really interesting is a lot of our partners had never sampled the berries. And so the berry chewables. And so they were adding new customers, and even partners were adding new products for themselves, and then they'll get excited about it, and they've been sharing it with others. So again, these incentive, those shareables are on boards, and they're also on Facebook and on our. Sorry, I have an issue.
Sorry, folks, I'm not sure what's going on here, but let me get us to where we need to be.
So yeah, I mean, I personally, I had several of my customers. I kept telling everybody, so you got it. Let's order another berry so you can try the berry chewables, and they did. It was amazing. So that's what this is talking about. So that result just from April, 6,500 new berry blend orders. Can you imagine? And most of the 6,500 who purchased were customers. 30% were partners, but they had never purchased berry blend capsules for themselves before. But 72%, more than 2,500 customers, were customers who did not receive the email that it was people that we reached out to. So that was really cool, because I did reach out several times with the berries. And so the bottom line is 20% of those 6,500 came from the email they sent, but 80% came through orders from us, from each one of us as partners. And that was 5,300 of them. Isn't that cool? So the secret ingredient, all of it, is us getting involved. So what did they buy? 27% ordered berry blend capsules only, and 64% either ordered the trio or the quad, which is cool. And it says, of those who received the email and placed an order, 30% of them had not placed a new order since 2021. So since COVID. And so that frequent follow-up, even with the most satisfied customer, might just generate a new order. And I think that's a great line for all of us, just checking in with everybody, whether they're a current customer or not, following up. I love it, what we've been seeing in the classes I've been taking. Whether or not they receive what we're saying, at least they're going to feel loved. And that's our mission. So, okay. So the targeted emails for May are the berry blend chewables, following up with those people who had gotten those in April. And then there still is the Tower Garden incentive, where for capsule customers who've never purchased a Tower Garden before, there is going to be an incentive for that. And also that with the thing they call the Nifty 50 incentive for partners. If you have not had a Tower Garden order in the last 36 months, which is 3 years, you can get and you can earn up to $50 incentive prize if you get a new Tower Garden order. And this week, which would have been, this week is when they're talking about the complete soy-free. Our goal is for all partners to invite them to place their own order. They're wanting all of us to get the soy-free chewables, and soy-free packets, like Elaine was saying, so that we can recommend it and share, hopefully, with our people who maybe never went on complete because of the soy, or we can recommend it to a new customer. It might be a great way into a conversation. Okay, another big promotion is the Tower Garden. They're talking about more and more about the Growers Guild, where it has tutorials, community support, because one of the things I really appreciated about them is they were saying that having a Tower Garden customer is a very different experience than having a capsule customer or a complete customer of Juice Plus. And so they're really, really working on making that a lot more friendly for each one of us, more of a resource for us. So if you go to the next one. Okay, so the Nifty 50 that I talked about, if you're new to Tower Garden, you, in addition to sales profit and the commissions, when you sell a Tower Garden, you will receive an additional $50 towards your first Tower Garden sale if you've never done one or you're brand new. And if it's been over 36 months since you or your team member has sold one, you're also eligible to get the $50 incentive. And right, what they're saying right now is this is not for any particular period of time. They're going to keep it up as long as they need to. So each one of us need to have selling a Tower Garden in our sites. And so one of the things that was most, I think, surprising for us that were at the Phoenix conference is the people that are becoming really, that are getting to grow their business incredibly just through Tower Gardens. We had someone become an NMD while we were there, and someone become an EMD while we were there. And these people, several of them, I think, were from Canada. But this is something that's open to all of us, that you can grow your business just with Tower Gardens. And so it shows here on that graphic, there's a new order form that we have for regular customers and for Tower Garden and for schools, which is how I sold most of my Tower Gardens, have been through the school system. But there are ways to reach Partner Plus, a way to reach qualifying sales coordinator, what you need to do with that Tower Gardens there, and even reaching sales coordinator. So they're talking again, really this whole new emphasis. And this came from people partners in the field, that they're the ones who took this off. And especially, I think it was in Alaska, because they talked about there's really like only a 1 or 2 months, maybe growing system in Alaska. And so they were just talking about that. I think that's where a lot of it wasn't that is that what you remember? Those of you that were there, wasn't it Alaska when they were talking about this? So that's a whole exciting field. Tower Gardens, I was talking with people just this week about, things are kind of scary in our world right now with, things that are happening to our food. And I have just said to everybody, I rely on my capsules. I have a year's worth of capsules in there, and I have a Tower Garden that is absolutely essential in being able to grow my own food. So if you don't have a Tower Garden, this is the time. Another update for us is Mexico. They're still hoping to get Tower Gardens into Mexico, and they're saying they have 2 more issues they're dealing with, but by late summer or early fall, they're hoping to be able to sell Tower Gardens in Mexico. And this Thursday, on May 23rd, there's going to be the latest one of the Gardens of the Galaxy webinar, Volume 1, where it's going to be a Zoom that we can all get on. It's by invitation only. It's only partners. This is not something we would share yet with our customers, but this is a partner only. So we'll make sure that that's on Team Extreme so that all of us can jump on. And evidently there's no passcode. So this is so wrapping it up. In Qualifiers Day will be on June 1st. All the orders that can be moved back. You have to call in and move them back to May business. And you'll see when the PVC reports go out. And it's the same in the US and in Mexico. And make sure that you call that no later than 6 o'clock Central or 7 o'clock Eastern time. So thanks so much for listening to me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Brenda, for just all that information. She does such a great job capturing the information on our leadership calls, and then we can pass that information on to you all. So, all right, we can't end the call without a challenge to you guys. So throughout the call, Brenda gave you time and time again different ways to really build and grow your business. But the main thing that we want to challenge you as you leave today's call is events, 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 events. And, I want to say kudos to both Edie and Susan Fulkerson. We did an event this past Saturday, and that is truly what will build and grow our business. We each have several people to call, to follow up with. I even had a guy who was in the wrong area, and he goes, I was looking for the franchise they had a big franchise event. And I said, well, this isn't the franchise event, but this is a franchise. Can I tell you about it? And so I'm excited to follow up with him and really share the business with him. So here's what I want to say. No matter what the events look like, what it's doing is getting you in front of people. And if we want to build and grow our business, we've got to get in front of people. And I think, as Brenda, I love Brenda's terminology, the COVID coma is over. It is time for us to get out of our houses and in front of people. And here's what I want to challenge each and every one of you to do. What we've done is mapped out a game plan from conference to conference. And so what we have on there is our big events, as Brenda was talking about, the Big Rock events, our Level Up event on August 12th. Make sure you're going to either get to my house, get to Brenda's house. I'm sure Linda will have an event at her house. Y'all, let's gather people together and make sure these Level Up events are phenomenal. And then again, as Brenda mentioned, come October will be October in Charlotte. If you don't have your ticket, get your ticket. The next thing is these regional events. We have them in Atlanta, wherever you are, find out where they are. If there's none close to you, create your own. Partner up with some other partners that maybe aren't even on our team and do events together. But every month, and I'm going to challenge you to really feel, I've got the highlighted areas. Fill those months up with events. So I would think the regional events are when you're partnering with other Juice Plus partners, maybe on your team, but are on neighboring teams, and bring together a lot of people. The next thing is every single month, we do a team online event. Kudos, as Brenda said, to those of you who did the mom event on May 8th. Coming up on June 12th, Precious is going to head up that event. It's going to be for athletes. Precious her son is a great athlete. We're going to be reaching out to some of you, or let's hear from you if you've got if you're an athlete, your kid's an athlete. We want this call to be about athletes. And so we can reach out, tap into that community of athletes. July, we'll have an event, July 10th. We won't in August because we want to focus on the Level Up event. We'll have one in September, and then we won't have our online event in October because of the conference. But start planning to invite people to these events. And then we are bringing back the shred. We've kind of taken a bit of a break from the shred events, but they are huge in helping us build our business, especially taking a customer, maybe just from, maybe they're a duo customer, getting them onto the trio or to the quad, and then adding the complete. Everyone should be on the complete, whether they're on our regular complete or our non-soy complete. There's no excuses. And so I think the shred is a great way to get people on more products. What we're looking at doing, and we're starting it in June, is we're going to do, you guys, many of you guys who were invited to this call got a text message from Brenda, me, or Linda inviting you to this call. That was through what's called Project Broadcast. It's an easy way now for us to connect with people via text. And so we're creating a group of text messages that will take place over that 10-day time period to remind people what the guidelines are for shred and to remind them why we shred every single month, giving our bodies a 10-day break to flush our systems of the toxins. And so just know we've got those dates plugged in. So this has already been posted on Voxer and on Team Extreme, this form, but I want every single person to print this out, and let's really be business minded and plan. You know, I love that. Plan it, do it. Then we look back and see how well did we do last month, and then we repeat again, and we just continue to revise and get better. But we have to have a plan. And then lastly is kudos to each of you who faithfully show up to these calls. These are our team calls where we connect, where we train, where we learn, where we sharpen our skills. We're getting ready next week to start a series on the 8 skills it takes to build ourselves and to grow into remarkable Juice Plus leaders, team leaders, Juice Plus partners. And so I want you to, if you would, put those dates on the calendars. Those are the Mondays that we meet almost every Monday, unless it's a holiday. We're going to meet and we're going to get sharper as a team. So the next part, so that's all about events. The next thing, get them on your calendars. The next area is Wendy Campbell used to call this the Royal Crown. This is the rhythm we want to get into to build our businesses. So everyone on this call, come a year from now, should, could, and would be a QSSC. And how will you get to that level? It's this rhythm. 5 new customers a month, bring on 1 new partner a month, and then each month, continue to promote that partner. If you did this every single month for 2 years, you would be at National Marketing Director. Do I do this every single month? That's my goal. Sometimes I hit it, sometimes I miss it. But here's what, and I need to pull mine up. I've got mine here, my stack of papers. But here's what it does. It forces us to stay focused. It's a plan to follow. And I'm telling you, when we do this, you will see movement within your business. And in order, you say, oh my gosh, 5 customers a month, that's hard. Not if you're having events, it's not. The events drive the customers drive the partners. And our focus on this rhythm, on this plan, will get us where we want to be. So the challenge is, I want everyone to print this out and let's start filling this out. Imagine if we had 5 new customers, a month. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 new customers by October. Imagine what that would do to your paycheck. And we know 10% statistically will become partners. So if I have 30 new customers, I'm pretty much guaranteed by default 3 new partners. So you guys, events, they will drive the customers, and then getting those customers will drive our partners. So who's with me? Who's willing to print out this 6 smart months, and let's go for it? All right, I see Precious's hand. I see Edie, Brenda, who else? Sandy, Karen, Dale. I can only see a few of you right now. Let me stop and let me see all those hands. Who's up for this? Let's explode our businesses over the next 6 months, and let's see a slew of us on stage that we've hit the next level in this business. We can do it. Let's get out of the COVID, what do you say, Brenda? COVID coma, and let's get, one of my friends, Katie Sparkman, always says, giddy up. Let's make it happen. We can, and let's make it happen. So thanks you guys for being on the call. If anyone wants to stay and ask any questions.